right, welcome into the Friday Night Blitz Week 1, and we couldn't have asked for a better night of football. A little muggy, a lot of cramping, but everyone's shaking off the dust and getting down to business. I'm Michael Cobble. The rest of the Sports 2 team will be here in a moment, but let's get it started, as we always do every week, with our game of the week, the Sugarcane Classic, Bruley taking on Port Allen.
Now, it's time for the game of the week.
Nothing like a little rivalry to start the season. Bruley getting it going on the opening drive. It's going to be quarterback Drake Vincent who will actually get the action going. Finding Patrick Gales on a little screen pass. That sets up the ball all the way to one. Look at that. Nifty moves. Breaking some tackles. Not going to break that one, though. How about we hand it off to Roderick Covington, who will punch it in for the first score of the season for the Panthers. Just like that, they are out in front 7-0. Next drive, pretty much more of the same. Shake it if you got it. Covington getting the handoff, turning on the Jets, cutting it back inside. Oh, just dragged down right there. But he would make it inside the 10. The very next play, yep, they are punching it in. It's Reggie Riley finding the end zone to make it 14-0 Bruley. 3 drives in the first quarter for the Panthers. Bruley taking advantage of every single one. Once again, it's Vincent to Gales. Gales getting past a few Pelicans before it's an open field and a touchdown. First quarter, all Bruley as they go up 22-0 after the first quarter of play, and it wasn't close. Panthers get the win 42-6 to bring home their 6th straight Sugarcane Classic victory. Let's keep it moving now as we check in on Madison Prep in Dutchtown. The Griffins hosting the Chargers, and late second quarter, Madison Prep up big 22-3, but it's Owen Fletcher handing it off to Carter Hedden. And it's a reverse. Landon Ruffin taking it all the way, cutting into Madison Prep's lead. Make it 22-10 at the break. Third quarter action. Opening drive of the second half, it's Fletcher again, faking the handoff, hurling it downfield, finding Martell Rogers in stride, who dives in the end zone. Don't call it a comeback. It's a 22-17 ball game early in the third quarter, but the momentum wouldn't last long. They would fumble the ball, and the Chargers get it deep in Griffin territory. Landon Johnson finding Harlem Turner, who punches it in to extend the Chargers' lead 28-17. The final in this one, 48-27. The Chargers with a big win. Let's keep it rolling. Take a look at Brother Martin at East Ascension. The Crusaders traveling up to the Spartans for their home opener. The opening drive dominated by EA. How about it's Zaylen Smith handing off to Jason Blackburn, punches it in. That makes it 6-0 Spartans. The PAT was no good. Following drive, Spartans defense makes a stop, but a little muff punt action here. It's going to be recovered by Gaines Randall. That'll give the Crusaders some good field position. Unfortunately for them, though, they only come away with a field goal, so EA still leads this thing 6-3. Spartans driving late in the first, and it's Smith dropping back, finding Jaden Urson, who beats his only defender, and he's a gone pecan, taking it all the way. Put EA out in front 14-3 after the two-point conversion was good, but the visitors come up and spoil this one. Brother Martin wins it 29-22. How about that? What's next, you may ask? How about a Sanoma score? The Gators with a huge opening victory, 49-6, the final in that one. Let's keep it going with more 5-5A action, if you will. St. Paul visiting Live Oak, and St. Paul out in front 21-7 at the half. The Eagles trying to get some momentum, but St. Paul was looking to keep the lead. Brady Pearson finds Brennan Villa down the sideline, makes it 27-7 St. Paul, but the Eagles need an answer, and they find one. Caden Jones firing over the middle to Felton. That would be Braden Felton, runs it in for the touchdown. That makes it 27-13. Unfortunately, St. Paul's would go ahead and play the spoiler there on the opening game. 48-13 your final as the visitors come in and roll. It is going to be a busy night of high school football. When we come back, we're talking more area teams, 4-5A clubs. Stick around. Jack Schimmel and Bree Andrews next after this.
Friday Night Blitz will be right back.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. I'm Bree Andrews, joined by Jack Schimmel. Jack, we had a good one over in North Baton Rouge tonight.
Absolutely, Bree. The Zachary Broncos, with a chip on their shoulder after a down season for them last year, they're hosting the Plaquemine Green Devils. How about a kick from the 45-yard line? Well, that's not normal. The Broncos, though, they strike first. Check out Jeremy Patton. He gets through the hole for the Broncos' first touchdown of the year. Then it's quarterback Michael Kirby going up top to Ethan Kimmey. A little Trades Green impression there. He hauls it in 14-0 Zachary lead. Former Green Devil, Plaquemine Green Devil, and current Saint Devon Godshaw. He's on the sideline rooting on his home team. He likes to see this. Austin Young getting through a tackle. He's eventually taken down at the 15. Big pickup for Coach Donald Williams there. After that, it's John Walker punching it in to get the Devils on the board. Then once more before the half, the Broncos striking. Kirby goes up top, this time to Tricoby Reams, who makes a great catch for the score. 21-6 Broncos. They go on to win 52-28. Over at Memorial Stadium, it's a packed house as Destrehan makes the trip up I-10 to face Catholic, and the Wildcats bring LSU commit Jabari Mack to make some plays in the first quarter. He does just that, steps in the passing lane and picks it off at the goal line. He has 100 yards to go, but he doesn't get tired, keeps making guys miss, and he will go all the way. Touchdown, Destrehan. They go up 10-0. But right after Hudson Fuller's group, they start to settle in. They move right down the field, and Justin Batiste takes the direct snap, and he gallops into the end zone for 6. First touchdown of the year for Catholic. Next offensive drive for the Bears, it's Turner Goldsmith. He goes through the air, finds Cale Alexander for the first down. Then later in the drive, they go back to Batiste in the Wildcat, or maybe we can call it the Wild Bear. Bree, he then punches it in for 6 more points, and Catholic goes on to win this one 32-23. Over at Scotlandville, JFK wins this one 19-0.
All right, now over at Olympia, Central, the state champs welcoming De La Salle out of New Orleans. Wildcats opening drive here. QB Ja'Cory Platt throws deep, but it's picked off by De La Salle's Brendan Guidros. The Cavaliers unable to turn this interception into points, but on the next Wildcat drive, Platt's going to change that. He's going to fake the handoff here, walks it in himself for the score. What a way to redeem yourself, young man. Central goes up 7-0. Now we go to the second quarter. De La Salle in the red zone. Robert Lewis takes the handoff and cruises it in for the score. We have a tie ball game, 7-7, but this one didn't last too long after that. Central comes up with the win, 20-13 to start their season off 1-0. Now over at Olympia Stadium is 5A Liberty facing off with 1A Southern Lab. At the half, Patriots up 19-6, but senior Kitten quarterback Jerry Botley knows how to get his guys back in the game. Bounces it outside, bounces off a tackle. He stretches over the pylon. He got it for a touchdown. Southern Lab makes it a one-possession ball game. And then on the ensuing drive, Liberty going to move it down the field as well. How about this catch from Darius Fleming? One-handed grab puts the Patriots deep in the Kitten territory, and then it's Zayden Foster who's going to power his way in from a couple yards out, and Liberty goes back up 2 scores. Last we checked, this one is in the fourth quarter. Liberty is leading. Let's get that score for you. Liberty is leading 41-28 over Southern Lab. Kind of a little bit of a shootout over there at Olympia. All right, don't go anywhere. We have a lot more highlights to get to on the Friday Night Blitz.
Friday Night Blitz will be right back. You're watching the Friday Night Blitz.
Welcome back to the Blitz. Bree in the past, Dunham and Parkview. They've gone back and forth. The Eagles even knocked Dunham out of the playoffs a few years ago. Yeah, but these teams are very different in 2025. Parkview under a new coaching staff. And the Tigers, well, they have a 5-star quarterback leading the way. Let's check out second half action over at Parkview. Dunham already up 49-7. Elijah Haven, Tigers quarterback, takes the snap, but Parkview defender Blake Bladen causes the strip sack. Eagles recover. Next possession, Eagles trying to find a rhythm, but Dunham defense causing some chaos of their own. Parkview quarterback Logan Sorrell strip sacked by the Tigers defender Elliott Trahan for the Eagles to recover the fumble. This one, it didn't get easier for the Eagles. Dunham wins this one big, 49-14. Let's make the trip over to U-High. This is from last night. The Cubs hosting the Woodlawn Panthers. A great test for both teams. Cubs head coach Andy Martin gets U-High on the board to start with the scoring here. A heck of an effort from wide receiver Lawson Dixon. Check out the moves as he cuts back across field. Dixon goes all the way, 40-yard touchdown. Great effort there. Woodlawn hanging in there, though, on 4th and short. They got the ball. The snap, however, goes past Caden Randall here. So the Cubs get the ball in a little extra field position they use to put it to use in the second quarter, Corden Odell. He plows in for his first score of the night. Cubs add a field goal and lead 15-0. Woodlawn head coach Tremont Douglas had his team in it, though. The Panthers start the comeback here. Quarterback Ahmad Price, he airs it out, finds Trenton Bennett in stride. Bennett looks like he's going for 6. Only Aaron Moore is there to pull him out at the 1. So it's up to Randall to punch it in. He goes full helicopter mode, a little like John Elway right there, but gets the Panthers on the board. U-High up 18-8 in the second quarter. The Cubs head into their bag of tricks. How about Ethan McGlynn dumps it off to our guy Dixon. He flings it down the field, and it's William Martin waiting downfield for that one. Sets up Odell for his second touchdown of the night. Great job of getting small and getting in. Cubs 28-8 at the half, and then they go on to win 49-8. All right, we'll have more from the Blitz right after the break.
Friday Night Blitz will be right back. You're watching the Friday Night Blitz.
Welcome back, everyone. Almost to the finish line here, but let's squeeze in a couple more games, starting with St. Michael at Episcopal. The Knights honoring former student Kareem Boudawi, who was killed in the terrorist attack in pregame during that New Year's Day massacre down there on Bourbon Street. But as the action got going, it was all Warriors. Boogie Levinson taking it around the right side and knocked out at the 2-yard line. So 2 plays later, St. Michael would draw blood as it's Nathan Contine going in to make it 7-0. Start of the second quarter, Episcopal trying to get a big stop, but Contine bounces off a defender. He's going to find the end zone. And once again, for St. Michael, the Warriors go out in front 14-0. Midway through the second quarter, the Knights in the edge of the red zone, and it's running back Taj Callahan taking the ball around the left side, breaking a tackle, finding the end zone for Episcopal. That would cut the lead to 14-6, but St. Michael would go on to win in a big way, 41-21. Talk about some points in this one. Meanwhile, over at Memorial last night, it was the downtown showdown. Capital and McKinley going at it to kick off their seasons. First quarter scoreless. The Lions, though, in the red zone. Cameron Wilson going to go up top and air it out to the end zone. Dion Dixon coming down with it. Beautiful catch there from Dion. The 2-point conversion was no good, but Capital, it's the dance and the 6 points. Second quarter action, McKinley finding an answer. Caleb Brown can drop back, go over the middle, finding Montrell Bell. Oh, was he down? Was he in? It's in for the touchdown. McKinley would get the extra point to lead at 7-6. They go on and also get the victory, 20-18, the final in this one. How about some scoreboards for you? Ascension Catholic, big winners last night over H.L. Bourgeois. St. James the same over East St. John. And Kentwood and East Feliciana, battle in the woods, 32-26. The Tigers take care of business. How about another game from last night? North Iberville trying to build off of their great first season. Back on the gridiron tonight, taking on Central Private. It's a battle of 1A schools, and it's the Bears taking the early 14-0 lead, but the Redhawks would answer late in the first quarter. A little reverse action. Eli McCombsey breaking through to get the first down. Later in the drive, Central Private on the doorstep, and it's McCombsey again getting the call. He takes the handoff, turns the corner, and gets in, but North Iberville's defense going to make up for it later in this one in the first half. It's Travis Phillips getting an early Christmas present, the linebacker, with the INT, and he's got plans to go the other way. The interception gets the Bears down to the 1-yard line. They will score a couple of plays later. North Iberville cruises to a season-opening 47-20 victory. Back at the big desk with the rest of the Sports 2 crew. A very fast opening week of the Friday Night Blitz.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it 10 more times.
Let's do it at least 10 more times, right? Once in the postseason as well. So a great start to their season. Some teams with some big wins. I think, some prove-it games for some other teams. But, of course, now it's all about building and getting better next week. When we come back, we'll have more of the Blitz next week. And Jack and Bree will be joining us. Have a great rest of your weekend.